Hello, magical ones. Welcome to the Fairy Stitch vlog. I'm Fairy Flower Cat. Welcome to our episode, and today we're going to do things a little differently. First of all, for those of you who are brand new to the channel, welcome and thank you for tuning in. You might be wondering, what do we get into and talk to about around here? I'm going to move this a little bit. Basically, what I talk about is what I'm into, and that is I'm a certified fairyologist, I'm a certified pet trainer, I'm an instructor, I'm an artist, I'm a knitter, and I'm a fairy witch, among other things. And so you never know what you're going to get or when you're going to get it, although I have been trying now. I've been deleting off some of my old videos. I'm trying to more centralize into just the Faery Craft Magick, and then a playlist just for the fairyology. So we're getting rid of some of the excess stuff, excess videos. And so that's what I'm going to try to channel more into from now on. So anyway, I thank you and welcome you all, whether you are a subscriber or not. And if you're not a subscriber, I hope that you will click that button. That would be fantastic. It would really help me, and it would be great to have you join us on a regular basis. So I was actually going to surprise all of you and do my very first live episode. I thought this would be a good time to do it, good time to try, and I can cover some of the stuff I was going to talk about, which I am. But unfortunately, since I've never done it before, I'm not sure what I need to do. And when I clicked on the little thing for YouTube, they were like, okay, you're trying to do something new. Good for you, but we need to do something else first. So I don't understand. They said you can't do the live stream just yet, and it started running a clock. And I'm like, okay, I don't, I guess they're configuring something. I don't know. Anyway, so I just clicked out of it for now, and I will look it up later to find out what I need to do. So this episode obviously is not live, but I was going to be, and hopefully I'll be able to do one in the future that you can join me on and actually chat with me if you'd like. But for now, all you have to do is leave comments underneath this video if you have any. If you have questions, feel free. Be kind, but feel free. So today, what I wanted to do, actually, because I thought it would be good while I was doing live and answering questions, I was just going to talk about my class and the poppets and do a little knitting on one of the poppets I'm still working on. And I was going to make some prosperity or fairy good luck salt. So you're going to see me do that. So a little magical crafting working today, which is good because I need to do it. And this was a good motivator. Like, okay, I need to do the video. Good time to do it. So, yeah. And since it is cloudy, it is very windy. It's actually quite chilly a little bit out here, which is really weird. The weather's been really weird lately. But, yeah, I can't go out and do the garden magic like I was going to do. So, let's do this. Okay. So first of all, let me talk about my Faery Craft Magick class, which I have talked about briefly in the past, but I've made a change. So, if you go to my Ko-fi.com page, which the link is here on the channel, in blue, I believe, right below the channel name, you will see it, or you can click on it. It'll take you right to it. Now, I have the online version class. It's a two-parter, so you have to buy both parts at a very reasonable price. And so you get the two parts, and it covers a lot of information about how to get started with Faery Craft Magick. So it covers so many different aspects of the magic, garden, candle, sun, moon, water, poppets, crystals, herbs, color magic, animal magic. I touch on pretty much everything that I could think of that Faery Craft Magick incorporates and that I often use myself in my practice. And I also talk about the arts and how to do this and how to do that. There's a crafting spell at the end, I believe. I mean, there's a lot. But that's the online version. Now, what I'm now offering too is the in-person version, which means you contact me and I give you the schedule of when I'm doing the class or the course, and you sign up. You pay when you come to the class, but so you don't have to pay right away. You need to pay when you come to the class, but you need to sign up because I have limited seating and I need to know how many supplies I need to have for everybody. So I really need you guys to sign up ahead of time, okay? That way I'm aware what I'm going to be doing, how many I'm going to, work with. All right, so what I've done then is made the in-person class into a 3-day course. So it's about an hour and a half to 2 hours, 3 consecutive days in 1 week, because there's a lot of information. I don't want to keep you guys sitting here for 4 hours straight on one day. It's a lot to take in. It can be overwhelming, and I don't have the facilities. I wish I could, but I can't provide restroom service and I can't provide, a catered lunch. I just can't do it. I just don't have the funds. So I wanted to keep it where you can, people would be comfortable, but yeah, you have to come back, each day for 3 days. But that's because there's so much information and you really need to be able to take it in and write it all down. There's no recording of the class, but you're welcome to bring a notebook with you and write down as many notes as you want. So the first day of the course, and the fee, of course, is more because there's a lot more information, and there's going to be some hands-on stuff as well. So there's going to be some spell work, and there's going to be some craft work. So let me tell you, the first day of the course is about 2 hours, and it's mainly just me lecturing, but it's going to be covering everything. I mean, a whole bunch of stuff. So I covered all like an umbrella. Here's your overview, and now you've got your crystal ball full of all this information. But there's going to be things you're going to want to focus on more in detail. So that's when the next 2 days come in. So the first day is the overview. We cover everything you can think of, and it introduces every little thing every little aspect of, being a fairy craft magic witch and connecting to the fairies and things, how to do this and how to do that, what this is for, what this is significant of, how you incorporate this, and how you, charge that, and all sorts of things, everything you can think of, and that's the overview. Then the second day is the crafting day. So the second day is when you're going to either learn to do beginner knitting, a beginner level knitting class, because you are creating magic. You are turning yarn into magic, into a project. Okay, so I want to introduce either the painting class. So 1 week, one class session. One class session. I'm going to do the beginner knitting, and then the next session, which would be like later in the month, because I'm going to offer it twice a month. The course is going to be offered twice a month. So then, I'll alternate the crafting class. 1 week will be knitting, one would be painting. We'll go back and forth. It's just a way to introduce the students to a form of craft. Now, if you find that, okay, knitting is not my thing, or, you might want to do the painting. You go, oh, the painting is not really my thing. I want to do the knitting. Or if you find after you've taken them and you go, you know what, I want to sketch instead, or I want to learn to sculpt, or I'm going to do scrapbooking, or I'm going to make candles, or that's great. If I can expand the course to other days, I will, maybe long time in the future. Right now, I think 3 days is good because it just introduces you to get out there and actually get into a form of craft, which is a form of magic. You are creating magic as you're knitting or as you're painting something. Even if it's just painting just a little statue, or if you're painting a canvas. If you're knitting just a little poppet, or if you're going to do a full-size doll, or you're going to make an outfit for yourself. Maybe you're going to knit an accessory that you're going to wear during your magical work, great. So it's just a way to introduce you. Then the third day of the course is where we're going to focus on poppets, because besides candles, poppets are my favorite thing to work with and use. And it's a way to show you, okay, you took the knitting class, now you can make the poppet. Now you can make one for yourself, or for someone else. And so it actually shows you how you're going to use that magical craft make it into something you're actually going to use in your practice. So, and plus I'm going to talk about the history of the dolls and much more detail about how to use them, how to make them, the history of the famous magical dolls and all this certain, how they differ from voodoo dolls and things like that. I really felt that it needed more time to go in more detail. So that's why I decided to make this the third day event. So for the fee that you're paying, which is more, I admit, but when you pay the fee at the very first class, you need to sign up ahead of time, obviously, because I need to know how many people are coming. There's limited seating, and I need to know how many supplies I need to have prepared. So I have to have everybody sign up before the class date, but you can pay when you come to the class. You don't have to pay right away. So that way, you're going to get the 3 days. You come for, a couple hours each day. So it's going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday right now. I thought the weekend might be handier. And so we're going to do it twice a month. Hopefully that will work for everybody. But yes, so 3-day course for the one fee. That's what it's going to cover. And that way it gets you more in detail. It gets you, and you're not sitting here for 4 or 5 hours trying to take it all in. So I really wanted to make it more interesting, give more information, and be able to focus and not stress on having to cram all that information into just a one-day thing. So we're going to give it a shot, and hopefully that works for people. And I really hope that you will be interested. You'll sign up and actually show up and come and really get the benefit of working with the fairies and learning the spiritual lifestyle. It's not a religion. It's a spiritual lifestyle. It's a way to connect to nature. It's a way to connect to the fairies. It's a way to empower yourself. It's a way about manipulating energy that you already have and channeling more into it so that you can, have a better life and hopefully help other people. It's all for positivity. It's not to be used for negative things or to harm anybody. It's supposed to help. And the more people that help each other, whether it be physically, spiritually, mentally, it's all beneficial. And hopefully it will spread more happiness, and I'm having tough times. And if you guys remember my channel, you've seen my videos, I'm often talking briefly about my issues. And no, they've not gone away, but I'm still here. I'm still hanging on as best I can. And I'm being as positive as I can. And we all have our off days. And we all have things that show up that throw us for a loop, and it throws you off balance. But I have to admit, if I didn't have my fairy connection, my fairy practice, I would have given up a long time ago. And if I can help you and other people to see that this is another lifestyle, this is another alternative, this is something that anyone can try as long as they're open to it and they're open to meet with the fairies, and it's not all cutesy and fun, but at the same time, it has that more enchanting vibe to it, so you don't feel like you're entering anything really dark. It is a little more whimsical, but you still have to work at it. They don't, it's not waving the wand and everything disappears of all your problems, and all of a sudden it's a miraculous. Now, can it help and can it get you what you need? Sure. But will it happen that fast, that quick? Probably not. But it takes work if you focus on it and enjoy it. But it's the kind of work you want to enjoy. You don't want to look at it as, oh, I gotta go to work, I gotta go do this. If that's the energy you're bringing to it, then that's what's it's gonna give you. It's just gonna give it right back to you. It's like, okay, you're not really excited to do this. You're not really into it. You don't really believe it. Why should I help you? And that's the universe talking. So you've got to put your energy into it. You've got to enjoy it. Okay? So working with the fairies can be enjoyable. It can be relaxing. It can be stimulating. It can be just give you that sense of, I'm being enchanted today, and it helps you get through the tough times. So that's why I wanted to do it. So anyway, that is the difference between the in-person course and the online class, which you can purchase, or you can take the in-person one. And like I say, the in-person one, I cover a lot more information, plus there's hands-on work, and there's more chance where there's Q&A, so you can actually ask me something right in front of me. The online class, obviously you can't do that, but if that's what you prefer and you want to do the virtual, you've got that option. So anyway, that is the new idea, and I'm hoping that more people will get interested. I am advertising on my Facebook pages. I am advertising in the Facebook events listings, and I do have a page on the locanto.com where I've got ads for that. So please check those out or message me here. I can give you a link and you can go to it and check it out and we can chat further, or you can sign up. That would be fabulous. I would love to be able to meet all of you and actually work with you and help you learn all about this new, or maybe not new, but one that doesn't get as much recognition, is be working with the fairies and fairy craft. All right. So now I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna work on this a little bit here. Like I said, I was gonna do this. Actually, you know what? Why don't we do the salt first? Because I was gonna knit while I talk to people on the live episode, and I can't do that right now. So maybe, maybe I should just hold off and do that later. Let's move these little guys out of the way. All right. Okay, so today we are going to make little jar. I've already started it, obviously. We're going to use a little jar of fairy good luck salt. Now, just to give a little background, magic salts, and there's a bunch of them out there, and probably the most famous is just, average kosher or sea salt. And you can sprinkle that on. So, they use salt for protection on windows and at the doorways. You can use salt to cast the magic circle. Salt is used for protection, so you could sprinkle it in your herb jars. You can sprinkle it on a candle or around the base of a candle. You can sprinkle them into a poppet, this kind of thing. So, salt is handy, and that's usually what they're used for. But nowadays, it's becoming a little more popular, maybe, to actually create different colored salts with different intentions. So like the white regular salt is usually for protection, because white being a protective color and a cleansing color, it's a purifying color. Again, when you think of white, we think of, celestial. We think of unicorns. We think of purity. We think of, the bright white light, and you think of moonlight. All that's kind of a white color. So, so that's where the color correlation comes in. But you can make different colored salt. So black salt is often for protection as well, but it's kind of used in combination of protection and banishing either negativity or somebody's problem for you, driving you crazy. You feel you're in danger. It's for absorbing light, that kind of thing. There's the red salt, there's the red rose salt or the pink salt. Pink salt is often used for self-care, for love spells. It's used for, sweetness. Pink is kind of a fairy color. So pink is good for that, and attracting the fairies to you. Pink Himalayan salt is used a lot for those kind of spells. Then you've got the red rose salt. Red salt is, often for strength, courage, deep-seated love, passion. It can also symbolize emotions. It's good for all those kinds of spells that work with that, that kind of thing, that energy. But green salt, of course, would be for fertility, prosperity, good luck, growing things, so good for garden magic spells. We're going to make a little bit of green salt today. And so, like I said, I've started this. So this is a baby food jar. I recycle these guys. So our cats can have a little bit of baby food mixed into their wet food. So I save the jars, clean them out, and then I use them for spell jars. So that's a handy little tip too, and I've mentioned that before. So the green salt is, I'm going to show you here components. I'm using some kosher white salt. We have parsley flakes, a little bit of ground sage, I've got some little basil leaves, catnip, and peppermint flakes. I've got my fairy mortar and pestle. And so it's really simple, it's really easy, and you can add other green herbs to this. Keep in mind you do want the green color. So you want to pick herbs that look green, whether they're fresh or dried out. You want them to look green, and so you have your green coloring. But it's more about picking the herb too that's associated with good luck and prosperity and wealth and growing things, So again, those are some of the ones I use on a regular basis for that purpose. So what I've done, and I didn't measure, you can measure, get out little measuring spoons, and you can measure how much you want to use. If you want to use mostly the white salt and then a little bit of the other and just blend it in, great. Me? Yeah. Measuring spoons are good. Measuring cups are fine. They're good for baking. I use them in my baking. When it comes to doing this kind of stuff, no, I kind of go by eye, So it's up to you. All right. Main thing is I wanted to get at least 3/4 of this jar full, so I started to make some earlier. So I'm just going to keep adding to it. So, it smells good already. You can smell the peppermint. So, alright, so first things first. And hopefully you can see. I'll have to lower the camera here. Let me turn it this way. There we go. Okay. So, first things first, I'm going to take the kosher salt. And I can use sea salt. It's just I didn't have any sea salt right now. I'm going to use this. And I put in, I'm going to say I poured in the cap, the bottle cap. I poured in enough of that, about that much. And then the rest I'm just going to do by eye. So here is the basil. And I just open it. And I'm just going to pour it in. Okay. Peppermint leaves. I love peppermint leaves. Peppermint's one of my favorite things. Woo! You can smell it. Oops. Alright. There we go. Okay, then I got the parsley. And the parsley is really green, so that really adds to the color. Okay, next is the sage. And the last is the catnip. Okay. Alright, and I'm just going to blend it in a little bit. I don't need to grind it because it's already very flat. I'm just kind of mixing, and then you can just kind of shuffle the bowl. And while I'm doing this, I need to be thinking about charging all these items. So I need to do my little, say my little spell or my little mantra or whatever you want to call it. I'm saying the spell in my mind at the moment. And basically my spell, you can write your own, but basically what I'm saying is, I want to charge this to help me with my prosperity spells, my good luck spells, to help me in such and such, and blessed be, or so mote it be, or I will it be at the end of it. And you just do it a couple of times. Just go over it. Really try to put your energy and your time into it. Really focus on it. And then that way it makes it much stronger. It's going to make it more potent. And it'll work better for you. So I said the spell a couple of times over this. I've charged it. And then I need to pour it all into the jar as carefully as I can, so I don't lose it or spill it. Go flip. Okay. There we go. Don't want to waste. There, see, and I got almost a full jar. It's fantastic. Okay, so to add just a little more extra oomph, once I've got it all in the jar, and I've put the top on it, then I would do the spell one more time probably, and make sure that all of it, now that's all mixed together, that, it's all got all got the same charge to it. So yeah, so that is how we make green salt, green fairy salt. For good luck, for prosperity, I hope. Yeah. And obviously, I mean, if there's an herb, or even if you want to use flowers, and I do like to use flowers occasionally, I'd have to pick one. Thing is, I don't have too many flowers. My sunflowers are just starting to grow in the garden, but I don't have anything else, flowers that I can use unless I have some dried ones. But again, if I want to add some flowers to it, I could. But you want to keep the green as much as you can. You want to keep the color association when you're making the salt. So try not to get too many different colors in there. But if you find let's say you know you're going to use the green salt the most, so you're going to make a large amount of it. You want to make sure you've always got it on hand. You can make a big container, a big jar of it, and then let's say there's just there's a flower, there's an herb that you just love, that you really feel connected to, that you really feel helps you the most in most of your magical work, you have such association with, and let's say, okay, it's not green, then use it. If you feel that that is really going to add to the potency of that spell, because you do like it, you do associate with it, you use it a lot, it works for you, then incorporate it. And that goes for any spell, that goes for any salt, that goes for any candle you might make, or you want to doctor up, definitely use it. It's all about personalizing. I mean, we practitioners who've been at this a while, we can tell you guys, especially beginners, or if you're just interested, you want something new, we can tell you what we do. We can tell you what we recommend. We can tell you, okay, this is what this book said, or this is what this source said, or this is how we incorporated it and works for us. You can try it, and if you find that that just doesn't work, or let's say there's a symbol that we swear works the best for us, and you're like, but I don't like that symbol. That symbol does not speak to me. It actually is pushing me away. Or maybe there's an herb you just don't want to use. Maybe there's a flower that you're just allergic to, and you go, that might work for you, but I can't be around it. Great. Okay. Maybe there's a color. I could tell you, use an orange candle with orange peels and a little bit of orange juice, and you go, but I hate orange. I have a bad association with the color orange. I don't want to do it. Okay, don't do it. Use the color. I like yellow. Yellow works for me. Okay, use yellow. It's all about personalizing what you're going to work with. So we can recommend. We can tell you what works for us. Doesn't mean it will work for you unless you embrace it, you're open to it, you like it, or you just tweak it. You're like, okay, I'll do that spell, but I want to use this herb, or I want to use this animal association, or I want to use that color, Okay, then you personalize it. That will make it better for you. And that's the idea. It will be more potent, it'll be more personal, it'll work better for you. And again, you might recommend it to someone else later, and they're going, I don't want to do that. I don't like that candle color, or I don't like that. I don't want to work with a snake. I don't want to work with the. Okay, well then, find the animal you are going to work with. Find the candle color you do want. And that's the way it's going to add more potency. Plus, it makes it more fun because you've got that memory, you've got that association, and you're like, this is good, this is going to work. And it's going to help you with your affirmations. It's going to help you with your intentions. It's going to help you with the charging of those items to make it better, to make it more interesting, and it'll work. You'll have better success at the spell. So, great. Do it. So that's the whole thing. It's just, you get a basis, you get the beginner, you get the information, and you from reputable people and good sources, and then you end up adding to it, taking away from, or just tweaking it so that it works better for you. That's all we can tell you. So, anyhow, okay, so that is how you make that. And I now have a nice full jar of that to use, because heaven knows I need it. Okay, so like I said, normally at this point I was going to do some knitting and answer any questions that popped up, but since I can't do a live episode, I'm kind of at a loss at what else I was going to talk about. So, we might just save it for another time. But anyway, I think I will go ahead and end this episode at this point. So thank you so very much. And again, if you're interested in helping us, donating to us, please check out the Ko-fi.com link. Go to we have a PayPal if you want to donate something. Or again, you can buy the classes at Ko-fi or contact me. I can give you a link to the Facebook page or whatever, or just sign you up for the in-person class. So I really am hoping that people are going to really want to take this course. I put a great deal of time and effort and research into it, and I really think that it's going to be stimulating, and I need I need a little water. Stimulating and informative, and hopefully get you out there so you can, meet with the fairies and work with nature and enjoy a full moon, or enjoy sunbathing, or, work with water, work with the herbs. There's so many things that we can do every day that helps connect to nature, helps you feel grounded, gets you distracted from problems, helps you to focus. And believe me, if I didn't have this, like I said before, I wouldn't still be alive. I wouldn't still be sitting here. And yeah, I have my bad days, but if I didn't have this, and I didn't have my crafting, I didn't have my kitties, I have charcoals right here. Come here, Char. Come here, say hi. If I didn't have the kitties, I have charcoal and butter. Come here, Char. So we got our little familiars. Oh, baby, say hi. Say hello. Say hi. So we need, if I didn't have all of this, I would have given up a long time ago. And I'm still hanging on. I still work on it. Good girl. So by being able to do the knitting and do the painting and sculpting and sketching and the fashion design and doing the artwork and actually making things not just for myself, but also to sell to fellow practitioners and, trying to raise money. I mean, I would rather raise the money by selling my work and my classes and teaching something than just taking a handout. I much prefer to actually earn the money and actually have something so I can pay my bills. And so, like I say, if I didn't have this to focus on, my days would be so much darker, and like I say, I might not even be sitting here at this point. So, again, I just want to impart that information that I've come across that can be so fulfilling and inspiring and give us hope. And that's what we need, especially in this day and age in this country. We need hope. So, again, that is why I'm doing this. So I thank you so very much for watching. Please contact me again if you'd like to sign up for the class. Please comment if you like the video. If you have a question, be glad to answer them if I can. So it would be fabulous to hear from you. Please be nice to each other and to me. No political stuff, please. Let's keep it to Faery Craft Magick, okay? Thanks so much. I appreciate it. So have a very good day. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. Please pass the video along. And we hope to see you in the next one. Take care.